City Council welcomes you to its City Council meeting this evening. There are two public forums set aside for public comment, one at the beginning of the meeting and one at the end. If you wish to speak, please complete one of the blue cards that are located on the table outside the main entrance and at the podium rail to my left here. Please give your card to the city clerk. She sits right here in front of me. And when I call upon you, I request that you limit your comments no more than 3 minutes and that you avoid repetition. Just a matter of announcement, Councilwoman Brown is on the phone this evening. She had a little eye thing that she got taken care of today, and we're very happy. It was a very easy thing. There's no issue or challenge with it, but she needs to stay home this evening because of the brightness of the day. So, Councilman Brown, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Madam City Clerk, are we in compliance with the Nevada Open Meeting Law?
Mayor, yes, we are in compliance.
Thank you. Tonight we have the opportunity to have the invocation given by Reverend Anthony Nixon Sr. from the Greater Evergreen Missionary Baptist Church. And follow that, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilman Black's young daughter, Callie Black. Please rise.
Let us pray. Eternal Father God, we thank you for how great you are. God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the mayor and the council members, that you will continue to bless them as they conduct the meeting on today. Continue to bless them and protect their home, make it a home of peace and a home of prayer. God, we pray for Councilwoman Brown that she have a speedy recovery. And God, we give your name the praise, the glory, and honor. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Reverend. We appreciate you coming this evening and blessing us, and Callie, for you participating in this great event in your family tonight. Now is this time set aside for public forum on posted agenda items. Madam City Clerk, do we have any blue cards at this time?
No, we don't, but it looks like we have one coming forward.
Jeff, did you want to talk now or on the item-ish number?
Now.
Okay. Mr. Jeff Alpert, thank you for being here.
Good evening, Council. Jeff Alpert, 3828 Fusilier Drive, North Las Vegas, 89032. Just wanted to mention a few facts for agenda items 4 and 5. I'm in favor of the city's purchase of these 2 parcels of land. As some of you know, I've been doing a lot of research on Kyle Ranch over the last 2 years, and I'm very happy to see that it's going to grow in size. It started out, Conrad Kyle, in the 1880s, 1870s actually. He got the land grant for the ranch, and he started out with 160 acres, and he gradually added on 2 more 40-acre parcels and brought it up to 240. And it stayed at 240 all the way into the 1960s, when in its decline, developers started purchasing large portions of those acres and building housing developments all along Commerce and Cary. And by the time the city took the ranch over in 1976 on July 4th, it was down to 27 acres. And by 1990, it was down to 5 acres, just 5 acres from the original 240. And then there was a donation. One of the people that owned some of that original acreage donated 2 acres in 1997 back to the city, which brought it up to its current 7 acres. And now, with the purchase of the 7 acres on the corner of Cary and Commerce, the ranch is going to at least have 14 acres, which is good because it's all contiguous and joined together. On the other parcel that's being discussed tonight, in agenda item 5 about Craig Ranch Park, Kyle Ranch did have a tie-in with Craig Park in the 1920s. The original Craig Park was called the McFarland Ranch, and in the late 20s, in 1929, a family from Pennsylvania came out to actually stay for a short while on Kyle Ranch, and they came from Philadelphia, and they were hurt by the stock market crash, and they had known the Taylor family, who were the owners of the ranch in the mid to late 20s. And they had permission to stay on the Kyle Ranch, even though the owner, Edward Taylor, had passed away in 1926. They eventually, a few years later, moved and purchased the McFarland Ranch. And the Craigs, George Craig Sr., I guess the ranch and the road, Craig Road, was named after him. And he had a very rough time farming that land. That was rough land, and it was flooded often. And after a few years after he died, his family gave up and moved to town. But it's interesting that there is a tie-in, and I think it's great that the federal government money is coming through to our city, and we're able to do these repurchases, and it's a good, positive thing for North Las Vegas. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff, and thank you for all the history you're putting together for us. I think before we move on to the next portion, I would like to make an announcement before we go to the agenda. This is an historic night, and it's not because we have a new city councilman, but we have 4 city councilman wives in the audience. I've never seen all of us together. There's Miss Barone, Lucy Barone. There's my beautiful wife, Marilyn Lee. There's Leanna Black and Gloria Churchio. I saw you, Gloria. Is she here? There she is out there. This is nice to have you ladies in our midst today. Thank you very much for being here. Moving on to the agenda.
Item 1, approve City Council regular meeting agenda of July 5th, 2017 for possible action.
Mayor and council, staff recommendation is to approve the agenda as published.
Thank you. If there's no further questions, Chair will take a motion to approve the agenda.
Move to approve.
We have a motion. Please cast your vote.
We'll need a voice vote for Councilwoman Goins Brown.
Yes.
That was a yes. Mayor Lee, did you vote? Yeah.
Items approved. Thank you very much. Moving on to set future public hearing dates.
Item 2, set date on any appeals filed or required public hearings from the City Planning Commission meetings.
Thank you, Madam City Clerk. I so direct you set dates as necessary.
Mayor so noted.
Moving on to the consent agenda.
Matters listed on the consent agenda are considered routine and may be approved by a single motion. However, any consent item may be moved to the business portion of the agenda for discussion at the request of any council member.
Mayor and council, the consent agenda consists of one item, only one. And staff recommendation is to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Thank you. We'll call for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Move to approve the consent agenda.
We have a motion. Please make your vote. Cast your vote.
Yes.
Items approved. Moving on to business.
Item 4, approve purchase and sale agreement and joint escrow instructions with SFM2G LLC in the amount of $1,485,000 plus escrow fees, funded by the Southern Nevada Public Lands Management Act Round 16 funding for the acquisition of real property located at the northeast corner of Cary Avenue and Commerce Street, Clark County APN 139-15-801, 017, in connection with the Kyle Ranch Historic Park Expansion Project, and authorize the city manager to execute and deliver any documents incidental to the closing for possible action.
Thank you very much. Councilman Barone.
Yes, Mayor, I just have a quick question. I think we had some staff members here who actually were very, very instrumental in making this happen. For the record, could we recognize them?
Sure, go ahead.
I do believe it's Cass Palmer and his crew. Am I correct? Is there anybody else also who I should give a shout out to? And Public Works. And of course, notwithstanding the incredible work that has been done by some of our community activists, and in this case, our incredible historian, Mr. Jeff Alpert, who, quite frankly, we don't have too many North Las Vegas historians, although we have Dr. Michael Green, who is a Rancho grad like us, and a noted historian. But I think to this level, at a very detailed level, no one's done that. And I just wanted to give, again, a big shout out to Mr. Jeff Alpert and all the work, and of course, our staff.
Thank you very much. Any other comments or questions? Seeing none, call for motion to approve this agenda item. Ms. Brown, do you want to make the motion?
Absolutely. Move to approve.
Thank you. We have a motion. Please cast your vote.
And my vote is yes.
Items approved.
Item 5, approve purchase and sale agreement and joint escrow instructions with LV Propco Holding LLC in the amount of $3,490,000 plus escrow fees, funded by the Southern Nevada Public Land Management Act Round 16 funding for the acquisition of real property located at the northwest corner of Craig Road and Commerce Street, Clark County APN 139-03-201-011, in connection with Craig Ranch Regional Park Expansion Project, and authorize the city manager to execute and deliver any documents incidental to the closing for possible action.
Thank you. Councilor, any comments or questions on this item? If not, the chair will take a motion. Ms. Brown?
I'll make the motion in just a second. The comments from the previous agenda item to the same people and staff. So move to approve.
Thank you. We have a motion. Please cast your vote. Items approved. You might wonder why I asked Ms. Brown. This is in her council district, and so we just wanted to hear her thoughts on it. Thank you very much. Item number 6.
Item 6, approve amendment number 1 to the professional engineering service agreement with VTN Nevada to increase funding of the original agreement from $250,000 to an amount not to exceed $500,000 to be paid by the developer for expedited plan review services for the development community for possible action.
Thank you. Councilor, any comments or questions on this item? If not, the chair will take a motion.
Mayor, move to approve.
We have a motion. Please cast your vote.
Yes.
Items approved. Item 7, approve professional engineering service agreement with VTN Nevada in an amount not to exceed $204,000, funded by Regional Transportation Commission of Southern Nevada Motor Vehicle Fuel Tax Fund, to provide professional design services for the Commerce Street, Dutchess Avenue to Cheyenne Avenue project, CIP project number 10501, for possible action.
Thank you. Councilor, any comments or questions on this item? If not, the chair will take a motion.
Move to approve.
We have a motion. Please cast your vote.
Yes.
Items approved.
Item 8, award bid number 1518 and approve construction contract with Mueller Construction for School Safety Infrastructure Project, CIP project number 10451, in the amount of $893,761.45, funded by the Regional Transportation Commission of Southern Nevada Fuel Revenue Indexing Funds, for possible action.
Thank you. Councilor, any comments or questions on this item? If not, the chair will take a motion.
Move to approve.
We have a motion. Please cast your vote.
Yes.
Items approved. Moving on to appointments. Now, the reason we're having a very abbreviated meeting this evening, we wanted to get these appointments done. We have people that will be put on the planning boards and other boards that have to be in a voting position by their first meeting. And because of the swearing in and all that took place today, you'll have a lot of appointments today. And then the 16th meeting will be a huge meeting, a lot of stuff happening there. So anyway, moving on to appointments.
Number 9, appoint Mayor Lee, Councilman Barone, and Councilman Black to the Redevelopment Agency for terms coterminous with their city council terms for possible action.
Thank you. Councilor, any comments or questions on this item? If not, the chair will take a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
We have a motion. Please cast your vote.
Yes.
Items approved.
Item 10, appoint Mayor Pro Tempore for a one-year term ending June 30th, 2018 for possible action.
Thank you. This is the position that doesn't get much acclaim to it, but it's a very powerful position. When the mayor goes out of town, this Mayor Pro Tem takes care of the business of the city. And when that person goes out of town, then the chair and the Pro Tem will appoint someone else if they're both out of town at the same time. But in this particular case, Councilman Churchio and I will trade calendars all we can to make sure one of us is always here. But if there's ever a disaster, something goes on in this city, the Mayor Pro Tem is the voice of the city. And so we have been rotating this every year from one councilman to the next to give everybody an opportunity to take on the responsibility and mantle of leadership. and they do get a good chance to participate in the decision-making process of the city. So at this particular time, I'd like to make a motion to appoint Councilman Richard Churchio as mayor pro tempore. And that will be my motion. Council, any comments or questions on that motion? Seeing none? Oh,
Just real fast, it was fun being the mayor pro tempore, but I'm sure my very good friend, Churchill, I'm sure he'll do a fantastic job.
good point. Let's see if he votes
Thank
for
you.
you, though.
Thank you, my colleague. Come in.
Yes, for that one.
It's unanimous. We have a new mayor pro tem this evening, Councilman Churchill. Maybe there's a different seat for you.
Thank you, thank you. The official changing of the seats.
And it was unanimous.
Item 11, appoint Mayor Lee to the Civilian Military Council Executive Committee for a term coterminous with his term as elected official for possible action.
Thank you. This is an interesting one. With Nellis Air Force Base so close to us, a lot of things take place out at the base, and the mission of Nellis Air Force Base is very important to this valley. So all the mayors get together, and with some county commissioners from Lincoln County, and we make sure that we do things that don't interrupt or disrupt the mission of Nellis Air Force Base. And so at this time, I've been appointed that because of my mayor's position, and I would like the opportunity to continue to serve if that would be to your pleasure.
Mayor, I'd like to reappoint you to the Civilian Military Council and appreciate your work on that board.
Thank you very much. We have a motion. Please cast your vote.
Yes.
Items approved.
Item 12, appoint city council member to the Clark County Regional Flood Control District and the Regional Transportation Commission of Southern Nevada for a 2-year term ending June 30th, 2019, for possible action.
Thank you. Flood control money comes through your taxes, and so we've been doing a lot of great work in the flood control area. North Las Vegas specifically has been getting millions of dollars into making sure that the structures and the utilities and that North Las Vegas is safe from these kind of tragic situations. It used to happen 20 years in Wilderness Valley before the flood control district was brought together. And I've been serving on this committee, and it's a great committee, and I like the calling.
Well, Mayor, I'll make a motion, and it'd be very pleasing for me to accept this position on this commission.
Thank you. We have a motion. Please cast your vote.
Yes.
Thank you. It's unanimous.
Item 13, appoint city council member to Clark County School District Local Oversight Panel of School Faculties for a 2-year term ending July 31st, 2019 for possible action.
Thank you. This is a committee that the school district has where they have a lot of elected officials on this panel, and they work hand in glove with our local government and the school board. And Ms. Goins Brown has been on this board, and so sometimes when you have a problem in North Las Vegas and you call your school district, maybe they don't give you the right answer. Well, if you're within the boundaries of North Las Vegas, it's our problem. And so Ms. Goins Brown has been on this committee, oversight panel for the school facilities, and would like to continue. Therefore, I'd like to make a motion that she continue on and make the motion that we appoint Ms. Goins Brown again.
Happy to accept.
Okay, that failed. Who else would like to do it? You're in, Pam.
Give her a heart
Okay.
attack.
Moving on to appointments.
Item 14, appoint Mayor Lee, Councilman Barone, and Councilman Black to the North Las Vegas Deferred Compensation Advisory Committee for terms coterminous with their city council terms for possible action.
I'm on number 9.
Oh, did I skip one whole page? 13 and then 14.
Oh, no,
is
we
on-
did that. You're on number 14.
Yeah, 14.
Okay, my mistake. Okay, 14.
That's for the Deferred Compensation Advisory Committee. Council is always on this committee. We haven't had meetings for a long time, but we do need to appoint you to that committee should we need to have a meeting.
So, Councilman?
Absolutely. I'll be happy to recommend and appoint Mayor Lee, Councilman Barone, and Councilman Black to this committee.
Thank you. We have a motion. Please cast your vote.
Yes.
Motion is approved.
Item 15, appoint city council member to Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority for a term coterminous with their city council term for possible action.
Thank you. I've been sitting on that as the member of this city council for quite a period of time, and it's where we have individuals from all the local governments, along with about 5 or 6 hotels that sit on this. All the decisions made for the convention authority and the Convention and Visitors Authority is brought up to this body, and then we continue to move on with usually their recommendations. We are on this to make sure that the taxpayers' money is handled correctly and that smart things are happening in the Convention and Visitors Authority. And so I'd like to stay on if that'd be possible. Councilman Churchio.
I think that's possible, Mayor. I think it's very possible, as a matter of fact. I'd like to make a motion to reappoint Mayor Lee to this board.
We have a motion. Please cast your vote.
Yes.
Items approved.
Item 16, appoint city council member to Las Vegas Global Economic Alliance Executive Committee for a one-year term ending June 30th, 2018 for possible action.
This is a board that has a lot of business people on. You'll recognize this is an area that I'm getting a lot of assignments this evening because it's my turn next week. These guys will get some other assignments, but this is the Las Vegas Global Economic Alliance is a group of business leaders and mayors who meet together to figure out how we can attract other businesses to our community and expand the job opportunities and job creations that take place within our valley. And so I would like to also serve one more time if that'd be possible.
I'd like to make a motion to approve our Mayor Lee to this Las Vegas Global Economic Alliance Committee.
Thank you. We have a motion. Please cast your vote.
Yes.
Items approved.
Item 17, appoint city council member to the local elected officials consortium for a term coterminous with the appointed council member for possible action.
Okay, get ready, Councilman Black. I'd like to make a motion to appoint our newly elected Councilman Black to this elected position.
We have a motion. Please cast your vote.
Yes.
Items approved.
Item 18, appoint city council member to the Nevada League of Cities for a term coterminous with the appointed council member for possible action.
Thank you. The Nevada League of Cities is an organization of all the cities that are dues-paying members that come together, pay some dues, and then when they're in the legislature, they fight on our bills and they work on issues with us. We just finished a legislative session. Assistant City Manager Ryan Juden was up there. I wanted to see what's going on, get a report back from you on the legislature real quick before we make this appointment, and then see what the requirements are going to be for this position and where the city stands on this. So I'd like to hold this for at least, when will your meeting be discussing the legislature?
We're meeting with other entities next week, so possibly not the next meeting, but the following meeting.
So 2 meetings from now?
2 meetings, yes, sir.
Would that be all right? Whatever.
August the 2nd, then.
That'd be August the 2nd. Thank you. We'll hold that.
Is that your motion, Mayor?
Huh?
Is that your motion to
That'll be
continue
the
to August?
motion, and I'll hit motion. There you go. Please cast your vote.
Yes.
Items approved.
Item 19, appoint city council member to the Southern Nevada Regional Housing Authority for a 4-year term ending June 30th, 2021.
Thank you. We have the Southern Nevada Regional Housing Authority. Is this the new committee, Ryan, that's being formed as we speak right now?
Yes, Mayor. Well, it's an existing committee, but it's a new structure based on current state of the NRS that was just passed.
Would you mind stating that for the record?
Sure. So previously, this board had been made up of appointees. The city of North Las Vegas had appointees. Each different entity had appointees. Due to some concerns with some issues that the board has had and the institution has had. And by the way, one of the things that was quite constant during the discussions of this during the legislative session were the outstanding nature of the North Las Vegas appointees. Myself, having attended several of these meetings, I can attest to that our members that were appointed by this body, by the council to be an appointed member of this were outstanding members. They were contributing members. They were not part of the problem, but there was the view that was adopted by the legislature and ultimately signed into law by the governor that this body needed to have accountable elected officials on it in order to help secure some of the positioning to ensure that we continue to receive federal funds in the state of Nevada through this agency, which has had a tumultuous past. So currently, the new makeup of the board will be consisting of elected officials as well as residents. There will still be some resident appointee members. So this isn't a recommendation to put an elected official from this body onto this board.
Thank you very much. So at this particular time, I'm going to make a motion to appoint Councilman Black. He's come forward and asked if, where we discussed about doing some of the social issues and some of the interesting things that are happening with the homeless. We need to spend a little bit more time in understanding of how we handle housing and the poor. And I know you have a passion for people who are struggling to make their life better. And so you're going to be, we're going to allow you and ask you if you wouldn't mind being our face on a few committees that have to do with social services and public services when it comes to the people who need the most help in our community. So I'd like to make a motion to appoint Councilman Black to that committee. That's my motion.
Yes.
Items approved.
Item 20, appoint city council member to the Southern Nevada Regional Planning Coalition for a term coterminous with the appointed council member for possible action.
Thank you. I'd like to make a motion to reappoint Councilman Black to the Nevada Regional Planning Coalition. Please cast your vote.
Yes.
Items approved.
Item 21, appoint city council member to the Southern Nevada Water Authority for a term coterminous with the appointed council member for possible action.
Thank you. We had a vacancy that happened on this board with the last election, and this is such an important thing that's happening in North Las Vegas. If we can get water up to Apex at 18,000 acres up there, it's going to change the whole dynamics of North Las Vegas. This is actually in Councilman Barone's ward, Ward 1. And so he's asked that if he could continue to work with us on, and Assistant City Manager Ryan Juden to continue to work on the pipeline to get it up there, and he wholeheartedly wants to serve in that committee. So I'd like to appoint Councilman Barone to the Nevada Water, the Southern Nevada Water Authority. That'd be my motion. Please cast your vote.
Yes.
Items approved.
Item 22, appointment by Mayor Lee of a citizen member to the Planning Commission for a term coterminous with his term on the city council for
Thank you.
possible action.
Thank you. Every city council member has somebody they appoint to the planning commission. A lot of things happen in this community that don't actually rise to the level of the city council, but the planning commission actually takes and works very hard and carries a heavy load on making sure that we develop our community properly. And so I've had, my particular person has been Randy Robinson, and I'd like to reappoint him. That would be my motion.
Yes.
Items approved.
Item 23, appointment by Councilman Barone of a citizen member to the Planning Commission for a term coterminous with his term on the city council for
Councilman
possible action.
Barone.
Thank you, Mayor. Actually, the fellow who I appointed last time, he's done a remarkable job on the Planning Commission. And again, it's I respect anyone who actually has they make the time to come and serve the city. And with much gusto, I would like to renominate my guy, Ken Kraft, Commissioner Kraft, who's in the audience.
Thank you very much. We have a motion. Please cast your vote.
Yes.
Items approved. Congratulations, Chairman Kraft.
Item 24, appointment by Councilman Black of a citizen member to the Planning Commission for a term coterminous with his term on the City Council for possible action.
Councilman Black.
The planning component of our community that's growing is very critical. We need to have a sound group of individuals there that are forward-thinking and have the skill set to make sure that we have the quality planning and development in our community. So I would like to appoint a gentleman. His name is Harold Hanshoe. Harold is from North Las Vegas. He grew up here, went to the local schools. He's lived here for the last 13 years with his family. But the thing that I think he brings to the table, which is of most value, is he's run a North Las Vegas business for the last 16 years that has been heavily involved in the construction and residential development trade within the Las Vegas Valley. So he has a real strong business acumen, understanding of proper planning, and so I'd like to appoint Harold Hanshoe to the Planning Commission.
Thank you. We have a motion. Please cast your vote.
Yes.
Items approved. Moving on to City Manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor. I do not have a report this time, and I've received numerous texts from staff that they're hoping the brevity of this meeting is a bellwether for the rest of your term.
Well, we've got our city manager, Dr. Lou's on vacation this week. I can't promise you much, but Ryan's done a good job this evening. So we have no city manager report. Moving on to council items. Councilman Churchio, do you have anything you'd like to report?
Yes. Once again, I'd like to remind everybody of our upcoming Nellis Creek and First Responder Military event on September 9th at Craig Ranch Regional Park. This is going to be, as I mentioned before, kind of extra special. Vegas PBS will be partnering with us because it's the 50th anniversary of the Vietnam War, and we plan on having a special display with Vegas PBS there. So we're inviting all of our Vietnam veterans and their family, and of course all of our veterans and their families, including active and first responders, fire and police, to attend. The other thing, with heavy heart that I have to mention this, but a very good friend of mine, Michael Humphrey, who served on TPAC, recently passed away. He's been ill for a while, but he gave it a long battle, and we're going to miss him. He was very community-minded, community activist, and I have to tell you that there's no such thing as an ex-Marine. So Michael is a Marine, and he's going to be sorely missed. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Barone?
Just want thank you very much, Mayor. Just real fast. We're doing this. We've already started the second edition of the North Las Vegas Small Business Academy, which, of course, you came in and made quite an impression in your biker shorts last year, and so I'm really happy to say that we've already started the second edition. It's a little bit smaller, but if anyone would like to come in and poke their head, it'll be again this Friday from 9 to 2. And again, I got a slogan here for North Las Vegas. We're growing the economy one family at a time. How's that?
There you go. Thank you.
I got lots of slogans, but that's just like one.
Councilman Black, this is your time to make a statement.
Thank you very much, Mayor. I'm just truly honored and humbled by this opportunity. This evening has been kind of the pinnacle for me for a long and amazing journey over the last several months. North Las Vegas is my hometown. Earlier this afternoon, I was upstairs on the 9th floor, ironically, all by myself. I don't know where everyone was at. They were hiding somewhere, maybe in Mr. Juden's office. But anyway, I had a chance to contemplate. I looked out the window of the building. I could see my junior high school, Jim Bridger Junior High School. I could see the neighborhood where I grew up. I could see, it's kind of ironic that I'm starting this new chapter of my life in public service when my old elementary school, Lincoln Elementary School, is torn down and there's a new one in its place. And so that indicates to me the amazing progress that we have in our community, the opportunities that are on the horizon. And, I'm just honored to be here. I'm ready to learn, to listen, and to work hard. And so thank you so much. It's a privilege.
Thank you. Welcome. This is a time set aside.
Councilmember Goins-Brown.
Oh, Ms. Goins, I'm so sorry. Do you have anything to say, Ms. Goins? I went right past you.
No, I do not.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Councilman. So we will close council items. This is a time set aside for public comment on tonight's, through tonight's agenda here. Madam City Clerk, I have 3 blue cards here. I'll call Peter DeJoseph. Mr. Joseph, are you here, DeJoseph? Please come forward, sir.
Hello, Mayor. I wanted to speak at the end of the meeting. Is that now?
You're here.
Oh, okay. All right, great. Listen, 2 things real quick that I want to promote. Number 1, if you haven't been to the dog park at Craig Ranch, please take the time out and go up there early in the morning is when most of the people are up there. There's a lot of dysfunctional behavior going on up there. I'm told that there are between 16 and 20 dog bites a month up there. People are going, filing court cases and suing each other, and all this stuff's going on. And the signage up there for the dog rules isn't clear. I'm working with the city attorney on that. There's a wealth of information on the internet regarding dog parks, most of it negative. Most people say that dog parks are stupid, but great stuff on the internet for dog parks. It really needs a lot of improvement, new management. The ground has a tremendous amount of dog feces on it. The water fountains in all 3 dog parks are not working properly. A guy told me yesterday, I was up there, guy told me yesterday that his dog got sick drinking the water up there at the water fountains. The second thing is, if you've never been to the Nevada Dental College, UNLV Dental College, you need to go, either as a group or just one at a time, asking for a real quick tour, because they're doing fantastic things up there. They're serving the entire Clark County, Las Vegas, North Las Vegas, anyone that lives anywhere. Great things happening there. And I want to promote that we do it even better. The hockey games are coming up in Vegas, and I want to see some promoters with some big barrels where people walk in. If you've ever been to a hockey game, you know the energy level is right off the charts, okay? People are excited, they're jazzed. That's the time to ask them for money. And I want everyone, I'm going to encourage everyone to start what's called the Nevada Dollars for Dental, so that anybody in the state of Nevada who needs dental work can get dental work. I was standing next to a young woman over at the college the other day, and she said, $4,000, I can't afford that. You know, talking to the management there, and I thought, you know, $4,000, we should be able to raise that in donations and give a girl, you know, a smile is so important to a young woman's psyche, and that's just one example of thousands that you could create with this program. So I'm going to be pushing that this year. Look for me to do that. So anyway, the dog ranch, the dog.
Mr. Joseph, our Parks Director is right over there. Cass, would you have your hand? Maybe a good minute with him would be a good place to start with your issue, okay?
Right.
Thank you.
Okay, listen, thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, Mr. Joseph. Mr. Bouchard?
Okay, before you start the clock, I missed the swearing in. I was in negotiations, major negotiations with HBO, so I couldn't be here, but I just want to say congratulations, Scott Black. When I was out on the campaign trail, I know you were everywhere I was. The man went door to door, shook hands with people. He put a lot of work into his campaign and definitely had the biggest and best signs. So with that, I just want to say welcome to North Las Vegas government. I know you worked very hard to get in this position, and I hope you use it in the best interest of the city. It's real easy to sit up there and not make waves and vote yes with the mayor, but my advice to you is get educated on what problems the city does have, because the city does have its share of problems, and do what's in the best interest, not of the Teamsters, not the police union, not the fire unions, but the taxpayers of North Las Vegas. You start the clock now. Okay, I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago, I said to the mayor, I said, I have a problem with you guys wasting money. And he said, well, give me an example of money wasted. I said, the state of the city. Oh, that made money. Okay. And he said, Gary, you don't know what's going on down here. Well, no, of course, because they never call me up. They do things without talking to me all the time. And we need to change it. I want some phone calls before they spend my money. But anyway, got some research done. with the help of I keep Dellen, right? Did I pronounce your name right? Dellen gave me some help, and these are her figures. With her figures, the thing was $1,200 in the black. So according to her figures, it didn't lose money. Okay. However, what she forgot to factor in was the employees, and she did not know how many employees took half the day off to attend this thing, but I kind of took a guesstimate of 80 people. I factored what these people were making per hour. I factored 4 hours per person. I also factored in the amount of tickets that could have been sold that weren't sold because they got theirs for free. Also the cost of planning, the cost of doing the video. And I came up with a completely different number. My numbers are in the red. I guess that's a color camera up there, so if they can punch that up. My colors are in the red, and I come up with a $14,300 loss. Now, those, in all honesty, that's not completely accurate because I don't have 100% accurate information to work with, but even if that's off by a third, the thing still lost a lot of money. And all it did was promote the mayor and promote this invisible Chinese company that's not building anything out here. So, oh boy, the 3 minutes went by really quick. Well, I guess I better get out of here, but my enclosure, I'm against wasting taxpayers' money.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Jeff Alpert.
Good luck, Scott. I'll be calling you.
Good evening, Jeff Alpert, 3828 Fusilier Drive, North Las Vegas, 89032. Quite often, I go on the internet and look at not only North Las Vegas meeting agendas, but also for the city of Las Vegas and Clark County. And I noticed on the Las Vegas website that they now have a shop where they actually sell T-shirts and caps. Not a huge selection, about a dozen men and women's shirts and maybe 4 or 5 different types of caps. But I'm imagining they hooked up with some company to give permission to use the city's logo, and they get a cut of the sales. So I'm thinking, why not North Las Vegas doing the same? If that's what was done, why not have a thing on our website where people can go to a store and shop? The mayor had a nice T-shirt here tonight. We could have a North Las Vegas T-shirt. We could have T-shirts for the parks. We could have a Craig Ranch Park. We could have a Craig Ranch Dog Park T-shirt. We could have caps for Kyle Ranch. We could have caps related to Aliante Golf Course. It's something that could bring in revenue. So my suggestion is for the city manager to maybe ask Cass Palmer as Director of Neighborhood and Leisure Services to look into this and see what can be done. And I'm sure Scott Black, having a background in creating items like this, even have pens and other items. And I know Councilman Churchill had a new design for a city flag and everything. Things could be on that website where we can generate some city revenue. Thank you.
Thank you. Very good ideas. Miss Charlene Thrower.
Mayor and Council, good evening. My name is Charlene Thrower. I reside at 3305 Kemp Street, North Las Vegas, 89032. First of all, Mayor, I want to thank you for all the assistance you and the city of North Las Vegas gave us when our church was destroyed a few weeks ago. Thank you very much. My concern is that Carlton Square is a forgotten neighborhood, and it's dark. We do have paved streets, but no lighting. And I have people dump mattresses, televisions right in front of my house. I can hear the stuff falling off the truck, but it's dark and you can't see who's doing it, and it happens like at 2 or 3 in the morning. It's to the point of where we really need some street lights out there, because we have a lot of people walking now, and we are right across Cheyenne from that cannabis market. And the traffic is worse now, and more people are walking now. So I'd appreciate anything you can do to don't let us be a forgotten neighborhood. You know, when I pay taxes, I think about it. I say, well, what am I paying for? Because when I moved out there 43 years ago, we had dirt streets. We do have paved streets now, but we need some light. Please see what you can do for us.
Thank you, Mr. Orr. The handsome guy in the very back there, Mike, raise your hand. He's responsible for traffic engineering and that stuff. Maybe, Mike, could you spend a minute with her when the meeting's over? Would that be okay, Mr. Orr?
Yes, it would.
He'd love to meet with you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Anybody else that'd like to speak to the city council? If not, we'll close public forum, and this meeting is adjourned.